and welcome to Diving Into Watches. So today we got an interesting review for you. I've had a few people ask me to review a watch by a company called Pagani Design. I know they're out of China. I can't get a lot of information on them. They are basically a huge Clomage company that just makes copies of all kinds of Rolexes and Omegas and you name it. They Clomage everything and then slap their name on it and sell them for cheap. So I've had a few people, coworkers, and I've had some friends ask me about them, and I see some reviews on them. So I thought I'd pick one up, and I picked one up off Amazon for a whopping $107. And we are going to review it, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and let you know, is it trash or is it treasure? That is a good question. At the price point, first looking at it, doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. But we'll get into the QC and the measurements to see if it, if it's worth it. But at $100 and being an Seiko NH35 movement in it, and the movement alone is 30 to 60 bucks depending where you get one from. So let's check the popularity of it, see if Pagani Design is what everybody swears by them. I know there are some definite fanboys of the Pagani Designs. I see some people on Instagram that their whole Instagram page is just Pagani. Let's find out. All right, folks, here we are. Okay, so we're gonna get into a review of this Pagani Designs Clomage of the Omega Seamaster 300. When you get it, it comes in a little box like this, a little metal clasp. You got the just basic insert. You got the warranty card, instruction manual, WIP-TD, Pagani Designs guarantee card, not filled out, no date, no reference number, no sold by. So I guess even though it says it has a 1-year warranty, this warranty is unlimited forever because there's no date on it. There's no reference. So all I got to do is put the date on it for whenever I want to send it in for repairs. So I can 10 years from now, I could just put that current date on it, send it in and say, no, I've only had it a couple weeks. So not even filled out. Okay. So packaging, nothing special. I mean, it's not bad. Again, it is what it is. I got this one off of, let me go ahead and zoom, and you get a little cleaning cloth here, clean it from Pagani. So wipe that down, put this back out to lay it out on. Go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. All right, looking at it, it definitely has the look of the Omega Seamaster 300. There's no doubt about it. Pagani says that this is ceramic bezel. I'm going to believe them. That definitely looks ceramic. And they said sapphire glass. I'm going to take their word for it. It says it's undercoated and AR reflective undercoating. I don't know. Not reflecting much. But we'll take their word for it. It's what they say. Chinese wouldn't lie to us, right? No, absolutely not. So I would like to have seen this bezel a little more matte. It's a bit shiny. It almost kind of looks, I don't know, cheap is not the word, fake. Well, we know it's not a real clone. I mean, we know it's not obviously a real 300 Seamaster, so fake is not the right word. I don't know. The shine on it kind of brings down the quality look of it. If it was just a more matted, it would look a lot better. The dial is actually pretty darn nice. I like the texture. I don't know if you can see it, but I like the texture on it. See if I can turn this light away so I can, which is nice. The hands are decent. We'll get a loom shot here in a little bit to see how the loom looks. The hands look like the traditional Omega 300 Seamaster hands. It's got like a tan color to it. I don't know if that's supposed to be patinaed or trying to look like it. It's not too bad. You got the date window. The date kind of sits pretty far down in there. I don't know if there's something they could have done better to make that look better. I think maybe a black date wheel with white numbers would have looked better than the way it is right now. This is not the strap that it came on. This strap is just a cheap rubber strap off of another Pagani. I'll do a review that I tore apart because I wanted to check it all out. The strap that it came on was this double clasp. I thought it was material because I got it off of Amazon. It was like $107 on Amazon. I thought it was a material. It's not. It's a rubber, and it's a really stiff rubber. It's made to look like sailcloth, which I thought was a sailcloth one, but it's not. It's just molded rubber, and I don't even know if it's rubber. It might be plastic. It's not high quality build. This is not too bad, but it's not not double clasping. And when I had it on, I wore it. It was so bulky, it was so stiff that it was actually pushing it off of my wrist. So I pulled it off. It does come with the blue and gray NATO, like you would get if you got the the Omega one. It's a really cheap quality NATO. I didn't put on the NATO. I tried it and I did not like it. I'm not a big fan of NATOs. I don't wear them. They make the watch too darn bulky. Um, so I did not put it on there. It's all brushed. The case is brushed. The bezel is brushed. The tops of the lugs are polished. The underside is polished, and the screw down crown is polished. The crown is a screw down crown, which is good. It is kind of gritty, but one notch is obviously to change the date. There's the 5th, and then the next one is to move the hands. So works just fine moving the hands. Got the seconds hand. It is an NH35 movement, so you can't go wrong there. Pushing it back in, it's very gritty, really gritty. I think if I was to hang on to this and I don't pull it apart just for the movement and gut it, keep the hands, or change the dial, maybe just throw a Seiko dial in there and keep it the way it is, and I'll have an Omega Seamaster Clomage, the Seiko dial. I would put some silicone grease on the screw down part. It's very gritty. There are no gaskets on the crown and on the stem. Nothing in there. No, it must be inside of here. I have to pull it out and look. So water resistance, I don't know. It says it's 100 meters water resistance. It probably is. I do have a crown from that other Pagani I took apart, and you can see that there are no gaskets on it. There is a gasket down inside, so when it screws all the way down, it's gonna go flush against the case, and that's probably their water tightness. But most of your higher quality watches, your Seikos, whatnot, there's usually double gaskets, sometimes triple gaskets, plus in here. So you get the seal from the crown, plus you get double gaskets sliding in through the crown tube, stem crown tube into the watch, so you get triple redundancy. I don't know how good the quality of the water resistance is on this one. That's probably, I would knock that there. Feels like 100, it says it's 120 clicks. It feels like it. It feels pretty good. I did notice that when I get up here towards the top, there is just, I don't know if you can see it, there's just a lot of slop between clicks, and the bezel doesn't align. So you got a lot of slop right here. When I'm up here at the top, let me go one more time. There's just a lot of slop. It does line up. The crown I did know, or the bezel I did notice, and I know why this is. See how this side doesn't move at all, right? It's very, very firm. See how this side, let me see if I can hold it still here, see it. See how the crown goes up and down? I'm sorry, the bezel goes up and down. That means it's not the click spring for the bezel is not all one piece. It's a wire click spring, which I cannot stand. Wire click spring looks just like this. You see this on most of your cheaper, lower end watches. I hate these. This is off an Aragon, of all things. I don't know if you guys know anything about Aragon, but I used to love Aragon until this, but this is a brass cased Aragon that I love. Well, this got bumped and it fell right off, and it's because it's just a cheap spring. And the way this works is it clicks right there, goes around, and then the bezel goes over the top of it to lock it in. And you only have, I don't have it all the way in because it's kind of, they're a pain in the ass to put on. But what happens is you only have the spring. Get it out here. You only have the spring on half of the bezel. So you only have the spring on half the bezel. And that's why this bezel is slopping up and down, left and right. See it, it's got give on this side. Right there, it's got give and not on this side. That's because the click spring, or the click wire, I should say, spring wire is just on this side. So that was another way to go inexpensively. All your Seiko higher end quality ones, they're typically going to have a click spring that goes goes all the way around. So you have flush mounting on it, like this one here. This is one that I built. Very firm, very, you can hear the clicks. Double clicking because there's the spring that goes all the way around it. And there's a lock here and a lock over here. So that's why you hear the click sounds differently, because it's clicking twice in two different spots. And there's no slop. See how there's just like no movement whatsoever. No movement whatsoever. If you'd like a review, if you'd like me to review this watch, let me know. I'll definitely do a review of that watch for you. So I'm gonna knock it there. I'm gonna knock. There's no gaskets here. I'm gonna knock this slop right here. Flipping over to the back, it's your typical NH35 movement. Nothing fancy. You know, just a regular old NH35 movement. Screw down case back. Would be nice if they'd upgrade the rotors to make them a little more blingy. If you're gonna have an exhibition case back, you know, upgrade the rotor. Here's a perfect example, NH35 movement. This is a regulated movement, which means I didn't have to regulate it. It came, it's like within 3 seconds a day on this Seiko. And then I put on the, and it comes with, no, this one I installed. I put on this Seiko gold rotor. So it just adds a little, you know, it just adds a little extra bling to it. I mean, if you're gonna have an exhibition case back, bringing up that NH35 movement just adds a little bit to it. This is 62 Moz case and gunmetal, screw down crown. God, I love this watch. Beautiful watch. But we're not here reviewing that one. So, you know, the guts, NH35 movement, Seiko, perfect. You know, it's a workhorse. It's the Toyota of the movements. Overall, is it trash? Is it treasure? I am not going to say that it is trash, because it's got a Seiko movement. So it's got that going for it. It's got that reliability. Is it treasure? Far from it. You can tell by the build quality and the QC. They're slapping these out as fast as they can. I mean, the movement alone, depending on where you buy it, it's going to run you anywhere from $35 to $45. If you want one fully regulated through a mod website, you're probably going to be pushing 60. So they're not putting a lot of quality stuff in here once they put the movement in. Maybe I'll try to mod this and just change the dial and keep everything else the same. Put a black Seiko dial on here and have a, you know, a homage of a Mega Seamaster with a Seiko dial. I don't like that rotor wheel the way it is. I would like to see black with white numbers on it, versus, see how this dial has a nice little ring. The date has the nice little gold window frame around it. You know, it just adds that little extra touch. They could have done that on this one, but I don't, you know, maybe that's not how the original Omega C300 Seamaster comes like that. This is not the original strap, as I said earlier. I just threw this one. This is from another Pagani I tore apart to check it all out and gut it out. So let me put it on so you can see how it looks on the wrist. There it is on the wrist. It's very comfortable. I did wear it for a little bit, for a couple days. Very comfortable. Sits, the 47 millimeter lug sits very nicely. It's very flush. It's not, even though it's 14 mil, it's not real super high. So it is a very comfortable watch to wear. So it's got that going for it. Yeah. So trash or treasure? I'm gonna say it's in between. It's definitely not trash, but it isn't treasure. And, you know, if price is an issue for you, getting into a nicer quality watch, like a nicer Seiko or one of the other boutique watches out there nowadays that you can get. I see why people buy them at the price point. I mean, $100, you get the design, you get the look, you get the Seiko NH35 movement, so you got the reliability. But the QC is definitely lacking as far as the bezel, the crown, and the movement. It's just not super stellar. I know everybody wants to see the numbers here, so let's go ahead and get the measurements out of the way here. We are 40 millimeter case. Lug width, we are, what are we here? We are 20. And lug to lug, we are 48. And then case thickness, we are going to be at 14. So it's not thin, but it's not super thick. So not too bad. Not too bad. Overall, it looks good. I'll do some outside I'll do some wrist shots and some outside shots so you can see what it looks like. Let's do a quick loom shot of it. Let's charge it up here real quick. We'll turn the lights off so you can get a quick look. It's, oh, well, you can see it's got, can't see right this second, but it's got blue hands, and then it's got kind of gold loom, and the bezel's loomed. Let me turn that off. Let's flip the light off. Now you can't see it on here. The hands look the same as the bezel, but they're not. The hands are blue, and the indices are a yellow. They kind of look kind of green here. Just the pip at the top is loomed. The bezel is not loomed. The loom is not bad. The dial's going. You can already see the hands are starting to go. They're not sticking around very long. So the loom is not terrible, but it's not fantastic. It's definitely not super Lumabrite. I'm not sure what it is. It might be BG, CG, BG3 or whatever their other brand is. Well, there you go, folks. The Pagani Clomage of the Omega 300 Seamaster. So let's go back over, and I'll give you my final thoughts and what I ultimately will do with this watch probably. So let's go. Okay, folks, there you go. There is the review of the Pagani Designs Clomage of the Omega Seamaster 300. Overall, yeah, you know, I mean, you get what you're paying for. You know what it is. Is it worth $100? Yeah, it's worth $100. All the money's in the movement, you know, in the sake of movement. So, I mean, I get why people buy them. It's a price point that is very affordable, and it has the look and feel of an Omega Seamaster, but without the, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars. Like I said earlier, if cost being the main issue, then yeah, pick up a Pagani. You can't go wrong with them, but you're just gonna have to accept the things that I point out are wrong. The bezel slop, because it's not a true click spring all the way around. The ceramic bezel is very shiny. It's not very matte. I don't think there's any AR coating on this at all. I thought Pagani said they put AR coating on it. Sapphire crystal though, NH35 movement, ceramic bezel. Can't beat that for $100. It'd be nice if they bling up the back a little bit. That would be nice. But you know, at that price point, I get it. Would I buy one for my personal collection? No, I wouldn't. But you know, when you're first starting out, you know, 10, 15 years ago, sure, I probably would have bought one of these because that's all I could afford at the time. But it is what it is, folks. It's you know, it's a Clomage of the Omega C300 Seamaster. Oh. It's a Clomage of Omega Seamaster. Functions, it's going to work. It's not a regulated movement, so you might have to adjust it because of time, because you know the NH35s are going to be off -20 to +40 seconds a day. I would definitely upgrade the strap. The strap that it comes on is terrible. It's just really crappy, and in the NATO it comes with this really crappy. I don't have a better word for it than those two things are crappy. So you spend $100 on the watch, invest, you know, 30, 40, 50 bucks on a decent strap, and you'd probably have a pretty good watch that'll last you a long time. When the movement craps out, just throw it out, put a new one in, have someone put it in. I can put one in for you, put the hands back on it, and then you're good to go. My plans for this one, I will probably tear the dial out and put a nice Seiko Rainmaster or nice Seiko dial in there, a black one. Find a nice black one and put it in there, and then it'll be all right. Other than that, and a better strap, then maybe I'll gift it to somebody. Maybe I'll gift it to somebody on this channel. You know, once I hit a certain number, maybe I'll make it as a gift, and the winner will get a modded Pagani Designs Omega Clomage of a Seamaster. So there you go, folks. I thank you for watching. I appreciate you watching the channel. I appreciate all the people who are starting to subscribe. Give me that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing to subscribe. It helps the channel out. Helps us grow. Helps us bring more watches. If there's other watches you want to see, let us know. Stay tuned. We're going to do a review of a Tavisi which I think is another Clomage Pagani style watch. It's of a Rolex. It's a Clomage of the Rolex Submariner, gold and silver cased one. We'll see what we think of the VC ones. My initial impressions are the overall finish is nicer. And I think VC is probably in the same price range. If you want to see a review of this modded watch I put on that I showed you that had the gold rotor on the back with the Seiko dial and the 62 mods case that I modded and built, let me know. I'll do a review on that one. But thank you again for watching, diving into watches. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next one.